So our main objective is to discuss about rational equation. Okay, that's the first part. Can you see my presentation? Can you see it? Hello? Can you see it? Okay. So rational equation. How do we solve rational equation and then inequalities? And then functions. So these are our main goal for today. Our main objective is to discuss about rational equation, rational inequalities, and rational function. Okay, let's start with the first topic, which is rational equation. So definition, and then how to solve rational equation. So rational equation is an equation that contains one or more rational expressions. Rational equations can be transformed into either linear or quadratic equation. So rational expression leading to more complex equation will not be discussed. Okay? So we'll be focusing on linear or quadratic equation. Extraneous solutions are solutions that satisfy the transformed equation but do not satisfy the original equation. So that we call it extraneous solutions. For rational equations, values of the variable that make the denominator equal to 0 are extraneous roots. Okay? For rational equations, values of the variable that make the denominator equal to 0 we call it extraneous. Or specifically, we call it extraneous roots. Okay? So how do we solve the rational equation? And check for any extraneous solution. Okay? So for example, so how do we solve rational equation? So example, let's proceed now to example number 1 in solving rational equation. So example number 1, the given is 4 over y plus 4 over 3 equals 2 over 3y plus 1/2. Okay? So how do we solve this one? So how do we solve it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. So 4 over y plus 4/3 is equal to 2 over 3y plus 1/2. So how do we solve for y? So first and foremost, we need to look for the LCD of this one. So the LCD of this one is what? What's the LCD? Any idea what's the LCD? What's the LCD of this given rational equation? What's the LCD? Anyone? What's the LCD? What's the LCD? What's the least common denominator of the given rational equation? Okay, 6y. Okay, 6y. So the LCD is 6y. So what will happen to the LCD? You need to multiply it in each term. So you do have 4 over y multiplied by 6y plus 4/3 multiplied by 6y is equal to 2 over 3y multiplied by 6y plus 1/2 multiplied by 6y. Okay? And then you need to simplify it. So basically we can cancel y and y, so you do have 24 plus cancel 3 and 6, so you do have 2. So you do have 8y. Yes? Can you tell him to join again? Okay, thank you. So that will be, so cancel y and y, so cancel 3 and 6, so you do have 4. Okay? Plus, so cancel 2 and 6, so you do have 3y. Okay? So how do we solve for y after we simplify everything? How do we solve for y? What's next? What's the next procedure in solving for y? Okay. How? We need to transfer 3y to the other side, and then 24 to the other side. That's what you meant? Okay, so you do have 8y Then what will happen to 3y if you transfer it to the other side? What will... Okay, negative 3y is equal to 4 minus 24. So you do have 5y is equal to negative 20. So divide both sides by 5. So y equals negative 4. Okay? So y equals negative 4. Okay? So the value of y is negative 4, but we need to find out if negative 4 is the real value of the given rational equation. Okay? So we need to find out if negative 4 is the real value of the given rational equation. So how do we do that? So we need to check it. Okay, so we need to check. So we need to check. So if y equals negative 4, okay, so we need to check. So we have 4 over negative 4 plus 4/3 is equal to 2 is equal to 2 over 3 multiplied by negative 4 plus 1/2. Okay, so you do have negative 1 plus 4/3 is equal to 2 over negative 12 plus 1/2. So how do we simplify it? Negative 1 plus 4/3. How do we simplify that? Negative 1 plus 4/3. What is negative 1 plus 4/3? Anyone? What is negative 1 plus 4/3? What is negative 1 plus 4/3? Okay, 1/3. What about this one? This will become negative 1 over 6 plus 1/2. So what is negative 1 over 6 plus 1/2? What is negative 1 over 6 plus 1/2? Okay, 1/3 also. So you do have 1/3 is equal to 1/3. So therefore, after we check and then we found out that the statement are true, now we can conclude that the solution set of the given rational equation is negative 4. Okay? So therefore, the solution set of the given rational equation is negative 4. So that will be the answer. Okay? So that will be example number 1. Next, example number 2. What about example number 2? So the given is negative 3 over 2 minus y is equal to 2 over y minus 3. So how do we answer number 2? Negative 3 over 2 minus y is equal to 2 over y minus 3. So how do we answer this one? How do we answer this? Any idea how do we answer this? How do we solve for y? Okay. Multiply both sides by the LCD. What's the LCD? 2 minus y times the quantity y minus 3. Okay, that's the first. It's another solution. We can solve it using the LCD. Okay, using the LCD we can solve it. There's another way to solve it. What's the another way to solve it aside from the LCD? Okay, cross multiplication. Okay, we can apply cross multiplication in this manner. Okay, we can only do that if two sides of the equations are both single fraction. Okay, and this side you do have a single fraction, and then the other side has a single fraction. If both sides has a single fraction, then you can apply multiplication, cross multiplication. Okay, so in this particular example, if you have noticed, the left side has a single fraction, and then the right side has a single fraction. So you can easily apply cross multiplication. Okay, so we have 2 multiplied by 2 minus y is equal to negative 3 multiplied by y minus 3. Okay, you can only do that if both sides has a single fraction. Okay, so you distribute. So we have 4 minus 2y is equal to negative 3y plus 9. Okay, so same procedure. So you need to transfer all variables on the other side and then all constant on the other side. So we have negative 2y plus 3y is equal to 9 minus 4. So you do have y equals 5. Okay, y equals 5. So we need to check if your answer is the real value before we conclude it. Okay, before we conclude, we need to check if your answer is a real value. So we have negative 3 over 2 minus 5 is equal to 2 over 5 minus 3. So we have negative 3 over negative 3 equals 2 over 2. So we have 1 equals 1. So the statement is true. Okay, so therefore, your solution set is 5. Okay, so therefore, your solution set is 5. So it's number 2 example. Next, number 3 example. So number 3 example. Let's proceed to number 3 example. So the given is y plus 12 over y equals 7. So y plus 12 over y equals 7. So in here, since the left side is not a single fraction, so we cannot apply cross multiplication. So in this particular manner, okay, we can use the other way of solving it, which is getting the LCD. So in this particular example, the LCD is y. Okay, basically the LCD is y, because obviously only y in this particular rational equation that we have, the only given denominator is y. So basically your LCD is y. Okay, so what will happen to y? You need to multiply it in each term. So we have y multiplied by y plus 12 over y multiplied by y is equal to 7 multiplied by y. So we have y squared, cancel y and y, so plus 12 is equal to 7y. Okay? And then, what have you noticed? You will come up a quadratic equation. So if it is a quadratic equation, you need to equate it to 0. Okay? Meaning, the other side must be 0. So what will happen to 7y? You need to transfer it. So we have y squared minus 7y plus 12 equals 0. Okay? So since the given is quadratic, so obviously, you do have two values of x. Okay? Because it's quadratic, so the highest degree of the given equation is 2. So from here, you can determine that you do have two roots or two values of x. So what will be the values of y rather? So you do have two values of y. So y squared minus 7y plus 12, what will be the factor? You can solve it using quadratic formula or by factoring. So in this particular example, what will be the possible factors? Okay, y squared minus 7y plus 12 equals 0. Give me the factors. Okay, y minus 4, y minus 2. So those are the possible factors. Okay, so therefore you do have two values of y. So the first value is 4, and then the second value is 3. So we have 4 and 3. Okay, but we need to make it sure that 4 and 3 are the real values. Okay, 4 and 3 are the real values, so we need to check. So we have if y equals 4, okay, so we have 4 plus 12 over 4 equals 7. So we have 4 plus 3 equals 7, so 7 equals 7, so check. And then the other one is 3, so we have 3 plus 12 over 3 equals 7. So we have 3 plus 4 equals 7, so 7 equals 7. So therefore, the solution set of the given equation is 4 and 3, or 3 and 4. Okay, 4 and 3 or 3 and 4. Next, example number 4. What about number 3? 4x minus 6 over 2x minus 3 is equal to 7 over x plus 1. So how do we answer this one? So same thing, if the two sides has a single fraction, we can apply cross multiplication. So in here, the left side has a single fraction, and then the right side has a single fraction. So we can apply cross multiplication. Okay? So we have 4x minus 6 multiplied by x plus 1 is equal to 7 multiplied by 2x minus 3. Then what's next? What's next? What's next? Get the product of two binomials. So how do we get the product of two binomials? How do we get the product of two binomials? How do we get the product of two binomials, my dear people? Okay, so we have 4x squared plus 4x minus 6x minus 6 is equal to 14x minus 21. So simplify, so you do have 4x squared minus 2x minus 6 minus 14x plus 21 equals 0. So you do have 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 equals 0. Then what's next? What's next? What's next, people? For x squared minus 16x plus 15 equals 0. What's next? We need to get the possible factors. If this factorable, okay? So we have 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 equals 0. Since the given is quadratic equation, so you can solve it using quadratic formula or by factoring. So in this particular example, is it factorable? Yeah. Okay, yes. If it is factorable, give me the factors. So what are the possible? 2x minus 3. Okay, 2x minus 5. So the first value of x is 3 halves. And then the second value is 5 halves. Okay? So we have 3 halves and then 5 halves. Now, so we need to find out if the two given values are the real solution of the given rational equation. Okay? So we need to check. So if x equals to 3 halves, okay, if x equals to 3 halves, so we have 4 over 3 halves. 4 multiplied by 3 halves minus 6 over 2 multiplied by 3 halves minus 3 is equal to 7 over 3 halves plus 1. What have you noticed? What have you noticed? Upon checking, what have you noticed? Upon checking, what have you noticed, people? Upon checking, what have you noticed? Try to examine. What have you noticed upon checking? Okay, so in here, 2 multiplied by 3 halves. Okay, if you will cancel out 2 and 2, so that will become 3 minus 3. So your denominator will become 0. Okay. Again, if we're talking about rational equation, okay, be sure that your denominator will not be equal to 0. Because if it does, it means that the equation will become undefined. Okay, so therefore, 3 halves is, we call it extraneous root. Okay, so meaning, although 3 halves is one of the value of x, okay, one of the values of x, but if after we substitute it, we find out that 3 halves cannot satisfy the given equation. That's why we call it extraneous root. So the whole solution, we call it extraneous solution. Okay, because so therefore that value we call it extraneous. Okay, or extraneous root. Okay. What about 5 halves? Okay, if x equals 5 halves, let's try to find out if it's also extraneous or not. Okay, so we need to substitute. So we have 4 multiplied by 5 halves minus 6 over 2 multiplied by 5 halves minus 3 is equal to 7 over 5 halves plus 1. So we have 2 and 4, so this will become 2, so you do have 10 minus 6 over 2 and 2, so you do have 5 minus 3, so you do have 2 is equal to 7 over 7 halves. So 10 minus 6, that will become 4. 4 divided by 2, so you do have 2. 7 divided by 7 halves, that will become 2 also. Okay, so that the statement is true. So therefore, in this particular solution, the only value that satisfies the given rational equation is what? It's only 5 halves. So therefore, your solution set is 5 halves. Okay? 3 halves is not included, although 3 half is one of the solution of the given equation, but after we check it and we found out that 3 halves is extraneous solution, okay, wherein it cannot satisfy the given condition or the given equation, so therefore the only solution or the only solution set of this equation is 5 halves. Okay. Next, in number 5, 1 over 3m plus 18 minus 1 over 2m plus 12 is equal to 1 over m squared plus 6m. What is the LCD? How do we answer number 5? 1 over 3m plus 18 minus 1 over 2m plus 12 is equal to 1 over m squared plus 6m. How do we answer that? One over 3m plus 18 minus 1 over 12m plus 1 over 2m plus 12 is equal to 1 over m squared plus 6m. So the answer is negative 6. How do we find that? How do we get that? So in number 5, the given is 1 over 3m plus 18 minus 1 over 2m plus 12 is equal to 1 over m squared plus 6m. So you said that in simplifying this one, first we need to get the factor. So we need to get the factor of each denominator. So this will become 3 multiplied by m plus 6. Am I right? Am I right, my dear mister? My dear mister? Is it correct? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Then this one is 2 multiplied by m plus 6. And then this one is m multiplied by m plus 6. So therefore, what is the LCD? What's the LCD of this particular? What's the LCD? What's the LCD? What's the LCD of this one? The first procedure is we need to determine the LCD. What's the LCD of this particular? You said that we need to, sorry? M plus 6. That's the LCD. M plus 6. What about 3, 2, and m? It's not included? In this particular, what's the LCD? What's the least common? Yes, my dear. That's the least common denominator. In this particular, is it only m plus 6? What about the other numbers? So that will become 6m multiplied by m plus 6. That's what you mean? 6m multiplied by m plus 6. Okay? So since you do have m plus 6, m plus 6, m plus 6, so you just take it as 1. And then what will happen to 3, 2, and m? So you just multiply it. So we have 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by m, so you do have 6m. Okay? Basically, the least common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6. Okay? So you do have 6m multiplied by m plus 6. And what will happen to your LCD? You need to multiply it in each term. So multiply it in each term. So you do have 1 over 3 multiplied by m plus 6 multiplied by 6m m plus 6 minus 1 over 2 multiplied by m plus 6 multiplied by the LCD, which is 6m m plus 6 is equal to 1 over m multiplied by m plus 6 multiplied by the LCD, which is 6m m plus 6. Okay? So cancel. So we have 3 and then 6, so this will become 2m is equal, minus. So this one cancel, and then we have 2 and then 6, so you do have 3m is equal to this one cancel and m, and then you do have 6. So therefore, the answer is negative m equals 6. So m is equal to negative 6. Okay? So m is equal to negative 6. So m is equal to negative 6. Negative 6 is extraneous. Why is it? Negative 6 is extraneous. Why? Negative 6 is extraneous. Why is it? Okay. So for example, 3 multiplied by negative 6, that will become negative 18. Plus 18, so you do have 0. So therefore, negative 6 is extraneous root. So the whole solution, we call it extraneous solution. So therefore, what is your solution set, if that is the case? Okay, negative 6 extraneous root. So therefore, what is your solution set? What will be your solution set? If you found out that negative 6 is extraneous root, so therefore, what is your solution set? So your solution set will be empty set. So meaning no solution at all, because negative 6 cannot satisfy the given equation. Okay? So that is a rational equation.